Eventually Binghua snaps, like completely goes onto Yoonsa. They eventually calm down and talk out, Yoonsa saying he feels no one was rooting for him since he joined the team. Someone then walks out. It was actually like huh. Hey guys, welcome to the recap of Project 7's third episode. Discussions for recent fandom and official events will be in the comments below. Anyways, let's start. After some morning routine filler, we're back at the main stage for the vocal and dance performances. The first teams two are the vocal positions. The first team, If Love Me or Leave Me by Day 6. Overall, their training and practicing went really smoothly. Hyunwoo and Taehwan being specifically praised during progress checks. However, they face an obstacle when deciding a center due to the new parts given to that role being Taehwan's verses. The center part is given to Hanbin, who is then critiqued the most during rehearsals. Anyways, the performance itself was great. You could definitely tell Hanbin was nervous. He was visibly shaking, but I think he still pulled through and was my favorite alongside Hyunwoo. We then get straight into the Love Wins All team. A lot of the disagreement came from part distribution, especially who would get the intro. Yoonsa is recommended to take the part during progress checks, however Yongseo wants to keep the part. Yoonsa eventually gets the part, but Chenyu feels he isn't treated as main vocal and Bing Ichue gives up his center part, which Yoonsa asks to take part of. The team absolutely jumps Yoonsa for asking for the part and was called greedy, which low-key. Yeah, it was yikes. I didn't like how everyone reacted. Yoonsa is upset, and when they're correcting parts he starts being low-key shady towards Seoki and Binghua. In my opinion, it's definitely clear that Yoonsa's critiques were mean and targeted, but I don't think they came out of nowhere. The team would randomly snap at him whenever he'd offered to take parts, even though it was the mentors themselves who would praise and recommend him, or if the team were the ones giving up all their parts. Anyways, the final performance was absolutely amazing. None of the performances up until this point have really left an impact, but this was so beautiful. I loved it, genuinely loved it so much it might be one of my favorite male survival show performances in general. This is definitely a separate art from Trainee cause the drama and fighting beforehand was mad stupid. Don't let it happen again. Anyways, here's where I get a little lost because we jump to the dance performances, but whatever. First, the members have to decide between Kyungbae and Minseo for center, Minseo eventually taking it. Kyungbae is chosen as center for the chorus. The team is criticized a lot for the original choreography, specifically the genre they choose. There is even a point where Bada tells them to throw everything out since they continue to use hip-hop despite her tips and criticism. Luckily, they're able to turn it around and create something the mentors seemingly really enjoyed. The performance itself was really good. It was super impressive and fun to watch, but their stage presence was a little off for me. I still loved it. It just felt a little too serious, if it makes sense. Even so, if say Minseo was my favorite for this performance. Something I like from Project 7 is how long the performances are. They're around 3 minutes each and it's super fun. We then move on to Pop Team. Ae is the main dancer and center for this performance. The team is heavily critiqued during their first rehearsal, Changyin in particular for his leader skills. The team also criticizes his skill, which by the way I've noticed a lot more cliché evil editing in this episode, which coincidentally is also the shortest episode. I guess the no evil editing resulted in too much of a process and longer episodes. While a new leader is elected, the spotlight is given to Andy as the morale booster for the group. Again, I've noticed a lot more obvious editing this episode, but it's most likely because of how many performances there are. The performance itself was good. The original portion especially was so amazing, but the set choreography felt like it lacked energy. I definitely think Ae did the best. I felt he was the most consistent and the most fun to watch. We then go back to the vocal teams with Don't Go by EXO. Namjoon is the center for this performance, however there was originally a different center. There are small disagreements, but I'ma be honest, it was definitely pushing it. They felt unserious and not genuine. During practice, Sungmin got sick and was unable to participate, so he was given a small line. During progress checks, the mentors recommend to re-edit the line distribution. A lot of them are given to Hyun Seok or Yonghyun. Similarly, Yonghyun is given the center part at first. The other members are upset since he has a huge percentage of the line distribution. The members bring it up to Yonghyun, who I think is rightfully confused since he was voted in by the team itself. But I also understand the members' point of view. He then steps down as center. Anyways, Yonghyun was the clear MVP. Even in the final performance there just was no competition. The performance itself was okay, good but not impressive. I enjoyed it but will probably forget about it by tomorrow. For the final vocal team we have We Must Love. The team decides to include choreography with their performance, but a couple of the members, like Janghyun, struggle keeping up. Eventually Jungkook suggests they should take any risks and instead focus solely on the vocals. For the final performance they decide to overly simplify the choreography so it's easier to sing but still kept formations and small movements. I thought it was a very solid performance, but I do agree it may have needed more choreography. Still amazing though, and I really liked it. Anyways, with the vocal teams done we move on to the final dance performances. There was a lot of doubt and worrying when it came to this team due to their skills in dance all being on the lower side. However, during practices and rehearsals they really shone through and did great. However, these positive spirits don't last long as Hyungwoo must drop from the performance due to his leg injury. He's had a cast on for a while now and it seems he'll be resting for another 2 weeks, so I wonder if he'll drop the show altogether. I really hope he doesn't since we haven't seen much from him. Yet despite his injury he still is actively participating in everything his groups do. Jae ends up having to take over the missing part. He ends up breaking down, feeling unable to do it. Anyways, they work it out and I have to say the final product was just so incredible. It was so much fun, it was so intricate, it was just so good. I will say I think a lot of the members lacked in stage presence. I wish they looked like they were having fun because the performance itself was so fun, you know. Other than that, I really loved it and it's for sure one of my favorites this season so far. While Kiwi had an overall great experience, Team 3D did not. A lot of the challenges this team faces is because of language barrier. Junseo can't really lead since he has to interpret in so many languages. Kenshin is also critiqued for his center part, being told he doesn't really fit the concept. The team ambition keeps dropping. People aren't practicing and just sitting around. A lot of people's heart just isn't in the performance. Junseo calls for a small team meeting to hopefully up motivation. The final performance was great, I loved it so much. Junseo especially really caught my eye. I'm low-key loving him a lot and he's climbing up my own ranks. Anyways, after that we begin to reveal the winners for this project. As a reminder, the winning teams will give each member 20,000 points while the MVP trainees get 100,000 points each. Vocal ranks: first, Love Wins All; second, Love Me or Leave Me; third, Don't Go; fourth, We Must Love. Dance ranks: first, 3D; second, Closer; third, Pop; fourth, Kiwi. Vocal ranks: first, Crayon; second, Work; third, MOMMAE; fourth, Shalala. MVS: Vocal, Youngseo; Dance, Junseo; Rap, Minwook. And with that the episode ends. Overall I say this was a pretty good episode. We got Love Wins All out of it, so it was definitely worth it. What was your favorite performance? Comment down below. Next week is Elimination week, so I can finally post a Project 7 video early, yay. Anyways, see you next week. Bye.